Warrior Radio, the place to be for news, notes, interviews, and current events for all issues military and veteran related. If you or someone you know has ever worn the uniform of the U.S. Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines, Coast Guard, or National Guard or Reserves, you've come to the right place. American Warrior Radio, right here on the Talk to Me station, AM 1300 WMEL, sponsored by AVET Project. This program is all about supporting our troops and their families, both past and present. So please get comfortable, grab a cup of coffee, maybe a pencil or paper to jot down a note or two, because we're always efforting to bring you important information that you can use. But with that said, let's roll down the runway and get this show off the ground. You all know me. My name is Garen Cohn. I'm the founder of AVET Project, an Air Force veteran, and a retired legal advocate for veterans, but I don't fly through the airwaves alone.
Good morning. I'm Glenn McGuffey, manager of your Brevard County Veteran Service Team. And in honor of Memorial Day today, we're going to talk primarily to you about information you need concerning VA burial benefits and burial allowances. And we'll even talk a little bit about Arlington, the National Cemetery, which a lot of people don't understand is not managed by the VA. Before that, I wanted to finish off what we did last week. And
let's do that.
When we were finishing up the state benefits, we were finishing up one that's a discount for people age 65 who entered active duty from the state of Florida, who have combat-related service-connected disabilities, and all of their disabilities could be counted as a discount on top of any other exemption that they might qualify for.
Yeah, we had them as kind of a cliffhanger on American Warrior Radio.
That's right, and we got you in at the end, but we hung you on the cliff so long we missed one. And that's a brand new state law again, which was tacked away on some other things with tax revenue legislation, and it finally came to light, thank goodness. And
this is about property tax.
This is about property tax, and this
so listen up.
Yeah, this is a chance at a retro exemption or retro discount, depending on which one you qualify, or you may qualify for both. As we talked about, there are exemptions for people rated 10% through 90%. There's a total property tax exemption for those rated 100% service-connected, permanently and totally service-connected disabled. And then the program I just talked about, where there's an additional discount on top of all that. Of course, that wouldn't apply to the permanent and total because you're already getting a total property tax exemption. But this allows the people who qualify for that, who had retroactive effective dates on their VA decision. Hello, everybody in the world has a retroactive effective date.
For sure.
Because it takes the VA a year or more to come up with a decision on your claim. They can go back as far as 2008, no further back than the year that they first applied for their first exemption or discount or both. They can go back as far as 2008 to get retro tax exemption and or discount. So
if somebody applied in 2007, the earliest they're going to get is 2008.
That's correct.
Okay.
And if they applied first off in 2009, because that's when their effective date of their claim was, then that's the earliest they could go back. Not everybody can go back to 2008. Depends on the effective date the VA gives you as the rating for your claim. But this is going to affect a lot of people in a positive manner, because immediately when you get your rating decision, unless it's some miracle has occurred, you're going to have probably a year. Your effective date is going to be a year before you applied for your claim.
And for folks wishing to get this property tax abatement, this discount on their property taxes, when you go into the county now, are different counties in Florida, do they operate differently?
Good point. There are 67 counties in Florida, and there are probably 75 different ways in those 67 counties to figure out how they're going to do it. But in Brevard County, one of the most veteran-friendly, thank goodness, that there are in the state, all you have to do is come to my office, get a letter. We'll get a letter saying it looks like you're eligible. The tax office will finalize it. They've never turned anything down that we've given them. And we'll do the same thing with this new program, because the new program's easy for us. We just look and see what the effective date of your rating is. When you come to our office, please bring your rating decision, because we can't always see your information in the computer, because it depends on whether or not you've got an accredited representative, and we've talked about that a lot. And
yes, we have.
Will again in the future. So.
Well, that's a great program. Anybody have any questions? How can they get a hold of you, Glenn?
they can give us a call at 633-2012. That's 633-2012. But in the near future, I would strongly suggest you just come to our office, and that's in Bravo Building out in the County Government Center in Viera. That's just east of the courthouse out there and straight across the street from the school board. Most people know where those are and don't know where the County Government Center is for some reason.
And it's important for folks in other counties within Florida, just check with your county.
Absolutely.
Everybody
Check with the property appraiser section of your county and see how they go about getting it in that county.
And if you live in another state, if you're listening to American Warrior Radio in Minnesota or Nebraska or wherever in the United States, you can check with your own county veteran service office or local tax assessor.
Yeah,
because they may and probably do have a similar program.
Every state is different, so they may have a better program, they may have a worse program,
We've
or
got a
one
pretty
the
good
same.
one.
We
Yeah.
got a doggone good one.
We do, and thank you for all the county commissioners that keep upholding that. We should mention a couple of hot items coming up because it is Memorial Day weekend, and folks, I want everybody out there in Radioland to understand, even though it's like the official kickoff to summer and everybody's out barbecuing and jumping in their pools for the first time, it is Memorial Day. It isn't Veterans Day. And in November, when we celebrate Veterans Day, which is a celebration honoring all veterans for their service. Now, a Memorial Day, what is Memorial Day, Glenn?
Memorial Day is to honor those veterans who've gone on before us, that have passed away. It's predominantly aimed at those who were died on active duty in support of freedom of our country, but it's evolved to recognize all those veterans who served and protected our country and who have died and passed on. And
so
as Garrett says, Veterans Day is a whole different day, and we support all veterans but in November when we get there.
And I'd love to see the emphasis shifted. You know, everybody's partying on Memorial Day when it should be a solemn and reverent occasion. At least take a moment and think or say a prayer for our active duty folks and certainly those that have lost loved ones, like Glenn said, in support of our country's freedom, because that's what Memorial Day is all about. They need to be swapped, because here in November it's gray and everybody's thinking Veterans Day is a solemn event. No, it's the opposite.
That's right.
Since we're on the subject, and we're going to talk, like Glenn said, about some real important benefits regarding burial benefits and other programs that are offered that help out survivors. I do want to mention first, though, we got a couple really great parades coming up. First one's going to be in Rockledge. And if you're familiar with the city of Rockledge, you know where Barton Boulevard is. It's the information is available on AVET Project's website, or you can go to cityofrockledge.org, cityofrockledge.org, for the Memorial Day Parade, which is being hosted and sponsored by VFW Post 4534. That's the second annual. I know it's going to be a blast. AVET Project, we're going to have our rocket float out there with DJ Gene Marine and his karaoke machine. We're going to have a bunch of active duty troops out in front leading the way, handing out bottled water and flags. This is going to take place tomorrow, that's Sunday, in Rockledge, right on Barton Boulevard. And the start time is 2 o'clock.
1400 for military folks.
Exactly. And it's going to begin at McClarty Stadium and proceed down Barton Boulevard. There's going to be festivities, ceremony, refreshments, and all kinds of fun activities, and even vendors. And AVET Project is going to have a booth out there where you can see some of the wonderful things we have, logo merchandise and wooden plaques honoring folks' service. So encourage everybody to come out for that parade. But Glenn, there's another one the following day on Monday.
Yeah, there's also one on Memorial Day, which is, of course, Monday, May 28th. And this one starts at 10 o'clock in the morning. That's 1000 for you active duty people out there. See how easy that is, folks? You just subtract 12 from everything. And they're still looking for some entries for that. And it's those who want to enter, contact Frank Hosley at 723-6974. That's 723-6974, and he's there from 10 to 2 daily. And he's the guy from American Legion Post 81 who's sponsoring this parade. So give him a call. He's also the guy you can call and get information about the start place for the parade and all that other good information. It's going to be a great parade on Memorial Day, again, starting at 10 o'clock. So give Frank a call at 723-6974.
And again, AVET Project is going to have our float out there, so you don't want to miss that. That's the one with the 30-foot long rocket that goes up and down and smoke comes out the back. And we'll have, again, active duty military troops leading the way on this procession, handing out bottled water and flags. So please, everybody, get up, get out, enjoy some fresh air with your family, and visit us both in the city of Rockledge and in downtown Melbourne on New Haven, I believe it is.
And that's probably where it is. Most parades are there.
Right, and it's if you've been to the ones in the past, it's going to be the same parade route, but we want as many people as possible. I just got handed a note by our producer, and this is something that AVET Project, again, we're on the subject of memorializing those that have gone before us. Staff Sergeant Eggleston, this was a special operator. I think he was in the Rangers. His tour of duty ended after 3 combat tours. He was killed over in Afghanistan less than a month ago. And his wife is left now with 2 children, a 1-year-old and a 4-year-old. Her name is Karen Eggleston, Eggleston. And our hats go off to him, his service, and certainly his survivors, his wife and children. We were able to help these folks go to the Tragedy Assistance Program for Survivors, known as the TAPS program. You can see a wonderful video presentation that AVET Project did last year by going to our website, avetproject.org. Lower left corner, click on the Facebook icon. Don't have to be a member. Don't get scared now. Just click on the button. It'll take you right there, and you can look at all the fun events and photographs and videos and interviews. But you'll see information specific to the Eggleston Fund. And we were able to, through Daniel Cook, who happens to be a paratrooper with the Golden Knights, that Army team.
Oh yeah, that's the Army's premier parachute demonstration team. They come here usually once or twice a year and put on fantastic shows. So most of you might be familiar with them.
Exactly. Well, Daniel Cook, also I believe a staff sergeant with the Army Golden Knights, has spearheaded this effort to get the Egglestons up to the TAPS program in Washington, D.C. on Memorial Day. And if you'd like to support that cause, jump on avetproject.org, click the donate button. Under comment, just make a comment, Eggleston. Whatever you can donate, $5, $10, $50, $500. We've had a couple $500 donations. It's super important that we support these folks as they're going through I can't imagine a tougher time.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Anytime one of our warriors is lost is just absolutely crushing for the family, as you can well imagine. So any help you can provide is going to a great cause.
Right, and keep in mind that we have the ongoing EEB, Empowerment Equipment Box program. We still have over 200 of these from our pack out at Northrop Grumman that we've got to get over to our troops in Afghanistan. Super important. Jump online. It's simple. Click on the PayPal button. It's a donate button. It's a secure PayPal site. Whether you can pay for one care package, which is $13.45 for shipping, or a slew of them, whatever you can do is going to be appreciated, because our guys and gals over there certainly deserve all the love and support we can give them.
You bet. And you know, every time I look at some live coverage over there, it's either one extreme or the other. Either they're burning up or they're freezing over there. They're going to work every day in a rock pile, climbing mountains and living in conditions none of us ever want to live in.
No.
And being shot at as an extra benefit of going to work every day. And IEDs, improvised explosive devices. You can't say enough about the bravery. And, don't lose sight of the fact that, the reason they're over there is so we're not doing that over here.
No kidding. And as you go out this weekend, enjoy the festivities at either of these parades or some other activity that's going on, memorializing our war dead. Keep the guys and gals that are over there right now in mind, whether they're in Korea at the DMZ or in Japan at an airbase, wherever they're at, particularly in Afghanistan, which is the hottest of hot zones. Keep them in mind, please, and say a prayer for them and their families.
You bet. And this, especially during this season, this time of day, there's probably many more memorial activities going on in the county. I've not gotten a list like I normally do of all of them, but I'm sure that there are many of you out there listening that know of other Memorial Day activities, and we encourage you to go to all of those. Most of them are 30 to 45 to an hour at the most. Time well spent to honor our true heroes who have passed before us, and please do that.
For sure. Now, we mentioned we're going to be discussing some benefits specific to memorial benefits.
That's right. We're going to talk today about burial benefits, and you've heard me say before, it's the if and or but world of burial benefits. Well, never was the truth more evident than in burial benefits. Something that seems so simple has become really sort of complex. And what kind of a benefits are involved are a burial potentially you have to be eligible. Each one of these has its own eligibility criteria, the if and or but world of VA benefits. One's burial allowance, one's plot allowance, one's headstone or marker or medallion, one's a burial flag, one's burial honors, and then that's all followed by potential survivor benefits. So, we could...
A lot to cover.
Oh, a lot to cover. We can start off here with burial allowances.
Let me ask you something first, Glenn. When a veteran passes away, is it correct to assume that when the survivors go to a funeral home that bim, bam, boom, everything will be taken care of and they'll know the proper procedures and forms to help them get their benefits?
No, I wouldn't assume that at all. What the funeral home will know, and we'll start with that instead, is the funeral homes will know, because they're the only people that can make this happen, is the Funeral Honors Program.
Okay, what is that?
And that's a program run by the Department of Defense, because as you can imagine with us at war, honor guards from bases, and we're fortunate to live close to a base here by our radio station, but people in the bases are too tied up to be doing honor guards for burial presentations. But the burial flag of the honors program, the funeral home contacts the Department of Defense at wherever the closest contact point is and arranges for 2 uniformed service members, one of the branch, the military the person served in. They come to the grave site, they play taps, and fold the flag and present it to the family, and it's a beautiful ceremony.
And stick with us on American Warrior Radio. We'll be right back with more.